Please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the future uploads.
Hello everyone. In this part of the video, we are going to see the provisions of maintenance under Divorce Act. So what will be the questions asked in the question paper? It will be differentiate between permanent maintenance and interim maintenance as per the provisions of Divorce Act. Then write a note on interim maintenance or permanent maintenance, or what is maintenance under Divorce Act. These will be the questions. Questions asked: 1. Discuss the provisions of interim maintenance and permanent maintenance under Divorce Act 1869. Second, what are the factors to consider while granting maintenance under section 36 and 37 of Divorce Act 1869? Who can claim maintenance? 3. Short note on maintenance under Divorce Act 1869. While writing this answer, we give the synopsis, and in the synopsis we should say: first, introduction; second, what is maintenance; third, interim maintenance; fourth, permanent maintenance; fifth, difference between interim maintenance and permanent maintenance; and sixth, conclusion. And at interim maintenance and permanent maintenance, we have to state as to what are the various factors and what are the legal provisions. This will be the basic outline of the answer. To introduce, we have to say basically maintenance is granted to the spouse who is unable to maintain oneself, and usually it can be granted to both husband as well as wife, but in Divorce Act only wife is entitled to claim maintenance. Now we will come to what maintenance is. Maintenance is not defined in Divorce Act. Maintenance is defined in section 3 of Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, and it states that maintenance includes an amount for clothing, food, shelter, education and medication. So all these 5 expenses are included in the definition of maintenance. The maintenance definition is not exhaustive, it is inclusive. Means many other factors can be added in it, only not these 5, but anything else which is required for that person to maintain oneself is also included, like for rent or for deposit or for anything else for that matter can be also included in this maintenance chapter. So the maintenance definition is not exhaustive, it is inclusive in nature. It cannot be permanent that this is maintenance and this is not. It gets included from time to time as to the conduct of the party and what the actual need of the party is. Maintenance is not defined in the Divorce Act 1869. It is defined in section 3 of Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956. Maintenance for the spouse is provision for food, clothing, residence, education, medical attendance and treatment. Now we have seen what maintenance means. We will go through interim maintenance first. Section 36 deals with interim maintenance. Now what is interim? Interim means during the pendency of the proceedings. So if any proceedings are pending under the Act, may it be judicial separation, restitution of conjugal rights, nullity or divorce, any proceedings being pending under the Act, one can go to the court and say that I want maintenance during the pendency of the case. So if the case goes on for say 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, during that period of time, maintenance can be granted to that person. Now who can apply? As far as section 36, it is very specific. Only wife can apply, husband cannot. So a wife can apply for interim maintenance. While granting interim maintenance, litigation expenses also can be granted in the same application. That application is of interim nature. It cannot be made simpliciter. There has to be a petition pending under the Act in any proceedings wherein judicial separation, restitution of conjugal rights, divorce or nullity has to be pending in the court, and then only an application under section 36 can be made to the court. Also, various factors are considered, like basically the wife claiming maintenance, whether she has independent source of income. If she has income, whether that income is sufficient to maintain her, then what is the income of the husband, what is the standard of living of both husband as well as wife, and if there are anyone dependent on them, if there is anyone dependent, what is up to the extent that that person is dependent on that person. Also, if there are any properties And if there are income fetching properties, what is the income received from the properties? Various factors are considered by the court while granting maintenance. Maintenance can be monthly only. Here, while granting interim maintenance, the court cannot grant lump sum amount because the court does not know up to how long the process of the suit is going to be, and so usually interim maintenance is granted monthly and not a lump sum. These are the various factors of interim maintenance given under section 36 of Divorce Act. Interim maintenance, section 36, has to be filed in the proceedings pending under the Act, can be made only by the wife who does not have independent source of income. Maintenance and litigation expenses can be granted. Monthly maintenance, keeping in mind the income of both the spouses, expenses of both of them, standard of living, dependents if any. Now we will see the provisions related to permanent maintenance. If you peruse section 37, the section 37 encompasses the provision for permanent maintenance. The word permanent itself suggests that it is of permanent nature. Now what is the difference? The main difference between interim alimony and permanent alimony is interim maintenance is granted during the pendency of the trial, and permanent maintenance is granted after the conclusion of trial. So once the petition is completed, once the decree is granted by the court, in that decree the court grants permanent alimony or maintenance. But till the time court reaches to the conclusion that what is to be done about the matter, till that time what is granted is called as interim maintenance. The second important difference between interim maintenance and permanent maintenance is interim maintenance is always monthly, but permanent maintenance can be monthly or a lump sum amount also. One gross amount, say 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh also can be granted by the court considering various factors. So these two are the basic differences between section 36 and section 37 of Divorce Act. Now we will see what the permanent maintenance is. Like I have said, that permanent maintenance is when the trial is conducted at the ultimate stage, at the time of judgment what is granted is called as permanent maintenance. It can be gross sum, it can be monthly amount. But since the entire trial is being conducted, the court gets to consider various factors like conduct of the parties as well. So if the person is living in adulterous relationship, for example wife is living in adulterous relationship, of course while granting her permanent alimony and maintenance, the court thinks twice. Similarly, there are various other aspects like, and everything is proved at point of time, and then after hearing of evidence, permanent alimony or maintenance is granted by the court. Factors like income of both the parties, expenditures of both the parties, standard of living of both the parties, properties purchased by both the parties. If there is income fetched from the properties, then that income also, if there are anyone dependent on them, then up to what extent that person is dependent on such person, then if there are any other dues to the society the person is incurring upon, the conduct of the parties, and basically all these factors are considered while granting permanent alimony or maintenance by the court. The maintenance granted permanently, that is under section 37, can be modified from time to time due to change of circumstances. Let's take an example. A wife is granted permanent maintenance, say of 10,000 rupees per month. The husband is also paying that. But after a certain point of time, that lady marries with someone else. Now, as soon as she marries with someone else, the liability of her previous husband to pay 10,000 rupees ceases. And therefore, he can file under section 37 that now please stop the maintenance amount, please modify that order because she has married. There are various other factors also while considering this. So, such application for modification also can be made. But simplicity or application to take maintenance under section 37 cannot be made. There has to be some petition pending under any proceedings under the act, like judicial separation, divorce, nullity, restitution of conjugal rights. Only in these cases permanent maintenance can be granted. So first of all there has to be a case pending, then after hearing the entire evidence the court decides whether to grant monthly sum or a gross amount or whether to grant it or not. And after that modification application simpliciter can be filed by the parties. Section 37, permanent alimony and maintenance. At the time of disposing of any case filed under the Act, on an application seeking permanent alimony and maintenance, application can be made only by the wife. It can be gross sum or a periodical sum, having regard to income of the parties, their properties, their standard of living, their expenses, their dependents, and conduct of the parties. The court can modify the amount granted under Section 37 if an application is filed to that effect stating change in the circumstance, maintenance to be paid till the remarriage of the spouse in whose favor the order is passed. After writing introduction, then what maintenance means, what interim maintenance is, what permanent maintenance is, and the difference between the two. The last part is conclusion. To conclude, we can say that a wife can ask interim or permanent maintenance from her husband, and court, after discussing or deciding various factors as has been discussed earlier, can grant interim or permanent maintenance and litigation expenses to the deserving wife, and the order can be modified from time to time due to change in circumstance. This becomes the conclusion part, only 3 or 4 lines, and the answer becomes whole answer. If you include all that what I have stated in this lecture, I think you will score around 80% of the marks in this chapter. The same video in Marathi language is also uploaded on YouTube, link of which is in the description box.
If you have liked the video, please give a thumbs up. Video on various topics are going to be uploaded on YouTube. Please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the future uploads. Thank you.